In Power of 10, you're a single starfighter moving solar system to solar system, trying to save as many civilians as possible. This is some crappy universe though, because it's got a ton of bad guys trying to destroy entire planets. Really evil for no good reason. Why are they even doing this? Now, to save a planet, you must activate its planetary shield, but first, you have to collect all the required resources. Power of 10 allows you to choose which solar systems you're going to. The map reminds me of FTL, but it seems the choice of where to jump to doesn't really matter. There are 2 to 5 planets per system, and I believe choosing one with fewer planets is easier. At least a little easier to activate all the shields before the bad guys swoop in and start blowing up the place. Now, you don't have to save everyone, and you can't. There are 2 bars, and you only need to fill the saved one before the killed one is full. Luckily, no one dies unless the enemies are actively destroying a planet in your solar system. It would have been nice to see more pressure put on the player. Also, the map is underutilized, not giving the player a choice to take the pirates on more directly as they destroy a planet, or save planets on the outskirts. It feels like every system is the same, where you gather resources, save planets, then the enemies show up and you try and save the planet they're attacking before it's destroyed. The combat is good, although basic. With a bunch of weapons and ships to choose from, there's a wide variety of ways to play. It's one of those games where it's fun to find all the weapons, but you're going to have your favorites. You can carry 2 at a time unless you find an upgrade, but you're at the mercy of what will drop. Ammunition scarcity is a big deal. Even after the latest update which adjusted it, it's only much more reasonable now. Still, you don't want to waste any shots, but you have to use ammo to destroy rocks for resources, which might be better spent killing enemies. This means for the most part you can't stand up to enemies in a straight fight because you'll run out of ammo. With the new ammo changes, when you run out, your gun fires incredibly slow, so you're not completely dead, but damn near close to it. I think I can see what the game is going for, but it's not quite right yet. If you had unlimited ammo, you would engage all the enemies head on and be able to take them. This is probably why they don't drop any resources. But the game is trying to straddle the line of using weapons to mine and defeat enemies. It seems like they would be better off if they leaned harder into the mining and fleeing. What do you think? The mineral and gas gathering is a huge part of the game. I will often ignore enemies and gather resources to save a planet rather than attacking the enemies directly. Destroying all the enemies doesn't save a planet. Luckily, some enemies have resources when destroyed, but it's not enough to rely on it for collection. Most of the time you're going to be destroying rocks. First, you have to find the rocks, get over to them, and blow them up completely to get what's inside. I find the mining to be a bit dull. It takes some time to destroy every little piece of rock so your ship magically vacuums them up. It doesn't delight me at all. It can be a lonely experience if no enemies are around, and even then, like I said, it's best to ignore them. Also, there's fast travel between most of the planets. I would even take some effects to hype up the moment, especially since the game loop can become repetitive. Like I said, again, fly to a system, collect resources, save the planets, and repeat. Although it's a good idea to stay in the older safe system and collect resources before you leave. There's no punishment for waiting around to stock up as much as possible. The game ends when the enemies kill people faster than you can save them. There are unlocks as you level up, but they're not power improvements. So it's more about finding the weapons you want to use and getting good. Will I get good enough? I'm not so sure. I kinda like the games where you grow more powerful as you play. In Power of 10, it seems like you need to go as fast as possible, and I just don't have the right weapon for the job. Anyway, the foundation is here. The early access period will allow player feedback and more of everything added to the game. It's always great to play something so far along in development. However, they definitely need help. When Power of 10 first came out, there was very little available ammunition. I saw many players discussing it in the forums, and the developer came out with a compromise. You'll love to see it. Overall, it's incredible what a solo developer has accomplished. I'm impressed, but Power of 10 has some rough edges. I hope they get smoothed out through early access, and the updates are showing great progress. It reminds me a lot of other games, but it doesn't have an obvious standout feature. It'll be interesting to see what the game looks like when it launches. So that's the end of the video. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did.